The March 26, 2014 meeting of the Ways and Means Committee will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Andrews? Here. Mr. Baroth? Here. Dr. Carbone? Here. Mr. Daniele? Here. Mrs. Draw? Here. Mr. Haney? Here. Ms. Cayley? Here. Dr. Quattro? Here. Mr. Rocco? Here. Mr. Tucciarello? Here. Chairman Yolovich?
Here. Will Legislator Tucciarello please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any speakers signed up for the public forum?
There are not.
Is there anyone here who has not signed up that would like to speak to this committee? Hearing none, the next item is the approval of minutes. You have the minutes from the February 26, 2014 meeting in your folder. They will stand approved unless the clerk is notified of any changes by the end of the day. Next item is new business, Madam Clerk.
Referral 14-0116.
Moved by Legislator Rocco, seconded by Legislator Tucciarello. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 14-0117.
Moved by Legislator Tucciarello, seconded by Legislator Quattro. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 14-0118.
Moved by Legislator Quattro, seconded by Legislator Daniele. Is there any discussion? Legislator Andrews.
Through you, could I get a brief explanation about how this works, please?
Bob Burns from the Office of Probation.
Yes, please. And yes, who is subjected to it?
Give him another mic.
Through the chair. Sex offenders who are on probation are assessed for the extent of their sex offending, both the present offense, their current lifestyle, and any prior offenses against children or others. And one of the mechanisms we use is to require the offender to submit to a polygraph test. Quite frequently, the offender will admit to transgressions even before the polygraph test is used, and it's done in conjunction with sex offender treatment with a psychologist and a therapist.
Thank you. Through the chair, if they were to disclose some new transgression or incident that they participated in, would they be retried or prosecuted for the new crime?
Through the chair, the actual polygraph results would not directly result in a new prosecution, but we would certainly consult with our law enforcement partners and the district attorney's office if we became aware of an offense of that nature.
Thank you. And then through the chair, could you, just before full legislature would be fine, provide us with a list of who else responded to this RFQ, please?
Through the chair, I can get that information to you.
Thank you. And through the chair, one last one. When this says that this is the first year that we're contracting with Western New York Polygraph Services, is that because this is the first year that we've actually received this grant to undertake this program, or it's just the first year that we're switching to this particular vendor?
Through the chair, it's the latter. Through the RFQ process, this applicant, this is his first opportunity to do work in Monroe County.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 14-0119.
Moved by Legislator Daniele, seconded by Legislator Draw. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 14-0120.
Moved by Legislator Draw, seconded by Legislator Carbone. Legislator Baroth.
Through the chair of the administration, I just have a quick question regarding the use of newsletters to inform residents. I actually find that to be a good practice. I was just curious, under what circumstances is this practice utilized? Because I know it's not utilized all the time.
Through the chair, we did the newsletters because the projects were spread out across the county, and rather than having 4 or 5 meetings at different places and probably not getting very much attendance, we sent it to anybody that lived near the bridge to let them know, because there was 5 different bridges that we were going to do work on. So if it's just at one location or one bridge location or even one highway location, then we would have a public information or public open house.
Thank you. So through the chair of the administration, it's a matter of efficiency then, is that correct?
Through the chair, yes.
Thank you.
Legislator Kaley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. To you, through you to the administration, just a little follow-up on that. When you use the letters and they're going to multiple areas, are you addressing the letters to the owner of the property, or are you actually addressing them to the residents, and or both, if you did not know that there were rental or did know that there was rental there?
Through the chair, normally we do send them to the current owner, so we send them to, but we do also, we are looking into seeing if we could get them, in some cases, to the resident that's living there, but if they are rental, but normally we do send them to the owner.
Thank you. I would just make a comment then, in just living in a city area that gets, that had some issues over this, that being able to send it, even if it's to resident of the property, the actual people that are more involved or more affected by work such as this, would be the ones that would actually get the information. We're finding that more landlords are actually out of area. Thank you. That's all.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 14-0121.
Moved by Legislator Carbone, seconded by Legislator Rocco. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 14-0122.
Moved by Legislator Rocco, seconded by Legislator Tucciarello. Is there any discussion? Legislator Baroth.
Through the chair of the administration, just a brief question, and forgive my ignorance. What exactly are rustic rails? Okay, that's been asked before.
The rustic rail is the brownish color rail that you see out throughout the county in some places. Normally, guide rail is galvanized and is silver color, but you might see in some places on city or state or county roads, you might see this brownish color, and that's what the rustic is.
Thank you. Thank you. And through the chair of the administration, just to clarify, these 8 locations, do they include the 4 bridge locations referred to in the previous referral?
Through the chair, no, they do not. The 4 that were mentioned previously, 3 of them are putting rustic or replacing the rustic rail, and that's where we got federal money to do that work because it was at a bridge. These are at either culvert locations or highway locations that we did not qualify for federal money.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 14-0123.
Moved by Legislator Tucciarello, seconded by Legislator Quattro. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 14-0124.
Moved by Legislator Quattro, seconded by Legislator Daniele. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item.
Referral 14-0125.
Moved by Legislator Daniele, seconded by Legislator Draw. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 14-0126.
Moved by Legislator Draw, seconded by Legislator Carbone. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 14-0127.
Moved by Legislator Carbone, seconded by Legislator Rocco. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 14-0128.
Moved by Legislator Rocco, seconded by Legislator Tucciarello. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 14-0129.
Moved by Legislator Tucciarello, seconded by Legislator Quattro. Is there any discussion? Legislator Baroth.
Thank you. Through the chair of the administration, I notice that this referral refers to both development and maintenance of trails. Am I correct to assume that the majority of the work is actually maintenance and not development of new trails? Would that be correct? Through the chair.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, could the legislator repeat the question?
Of course. Through the chair of the administration, I was curious as to what the emphasis was in terms of the development of trails or the maintenance of trails. Are we primarily talking about maintaining what we currently have? We're talking about developing new trails as well to what we have currently.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, the way this grant works is the county serves strictly as a pass-through agent as a conduit for the money. All of the application goes through New York State, and it's basically a formula grant based on the maintenance of existing trails. They can add to trails, and those can go into future grants for maintaining those trails. But the county strictly acts as a pass-through, and New York State makes the determination on who gets what, how much they get, and the money that is divvied up comes from snowmobile registrations annually.
Thank you. So through the chair of the administration, am I correct to assume then that I realize we act strictly as a gateway or a transit point for the funds, but we don't actually then in any way, at least through this referral, keep an eye on what's being done in terms of developing new trails or not?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, that is correct. None of these trails are on county property.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 14-0130.
Moved by legislator Quattro, seconded by legislator Daniele. It's my understanding there was an amendment passed for this referral in the lead committee of Rec and Ed last night, I believe. A copy of that amendment is in your folder, and the full referral will be amended at the full ledge. Is there any discussion on this referral? Legislator Haney.
Mr. Chairman, I'm wondering if the referral refers to the revenues going in the various Parks Department trust funds. Could we at the ledge meeting have a listing of these Parks Trust funds and the balances that were in the funds at December 31st?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, of course.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 14-0131.
Moved by legislator Daniele, seconded by legislator Draw. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Yes, legislator Haney?
Yes. We're on 131, correct?
Yes, we're on 131.
Through the chair, when was the last time that we had an in-rem foreclosure action?
Mr. Chairman, the last foreclosure action was conducted in calendar year 2007.
2007, so it's been 7 years?
That's correct, Mr. Chairman.
And through the chair, how many properties are on the list?
Mr. Chairman, this year we have 254 parcels on this list.
And through the chair, final question. Since we've been selling the liens, I thought basically we were selling all the liens. How do we end up with 254 parcels that we're still holding on to, the liens of?
Mr. Chairman, parcels come on this list for a variety of reasons. One reason is the lien might not have been bid on by a recent proposer, or these parcels may have previously been in bankruptcy, and therefore we would not have sold their liens, or these parcels perhaps taxes were being paid pursuant to a repayment agreement, and that repayment agreement is no longer in good standing.
Through the chair. So when companies are bidding to buy the liens, they don't bid on blocks. They have the right to reject individual parcels. Like you might put 500 parcels on a list a company might bid on 475 of them? Is that the way it works?
It's borderline. I'm going to let him go with this question and then.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I was trying to provide a very general answer. For example, in the most recent tax lien sales conducted last September, October, or November timeframe, we did request that the proposers bid on wholesale blocks of liens. In the past, is my understanding that there was more leeway, and each bidder could see each individual parcel and was asked to bid on each parcel individually, and they could strike any parcel that they refused to bid on.
Oh, that's interesting. And through the chair, final question. Are any of these parcels that we previously sold but have been returned to us by companies?
I'm not sure what you mean by that, Paul.
Well, there have been a couple of cases, they were very unique, I know, in which we sold liens, I know, involving the Genesee Brewery, and then the company returned the liens to us.
I think we're getting just a little bit off course here with, we're talking about authorizing these foreclosures.
Right.
Getting into the whole background, maybe is just a little bit too far. Bob, do you have something on that very quickly? And if not, we're going to move on.
Mr. Chairman, I would like some additional clarification, perhaps, to answer that.
Yeah, I think it's a little deeper than the actual referral goes. And Legislator Baroth?
Thank you. Through the chair of the administration, this might be helpful, but I did note when I read the referral that the first line actually says, containing a list of delinquent taxes and properties attached here too. And I do not have a copy of those properties. I was wondering if we could have a copy of those made available as the referral states.
Mr. Chairman, we will provide that list before the ledge meeting.
That may be helpful. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 14-0134.
Moved by Legislator Draw, seconded by Legislator Carbone. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Is there any other matters to come before this committee? Legislator Andrews.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you to the administration, I had submitted a letter a couple weeks ago with some requests for some invoices and records and had asked for a response by full ledge meeting. I just wanted to ask the administration at this point in time if there are any impediments that they see at this time that would preclude them from being able to respond to my letter with what I've asked for.
Well, first of all, the Ways and Means Committee hasn't seen that letter that you sent, and I really don't think it's the business of the Ways and Means Committee at all. So I think I'll call the question out of order. There being no other matters, the March 26, 2014 meeting of the Ways and Means Committee stands adjourned. The next meeting of the Ways and Means Committee is scheduled for Wednesday, April 23rd, 2014. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.